The only thing I could distinctly tell you about Karen downstairs in Elmont, every time one of my visitors came, she's inactive, but they're banging shit. And she sits steady while they are like quoting on the front porch with her daughter and make sure that they get a visual that she ain't doing nothing. Right? Or when Deacon Hardy comes, she'll set some friends up, some Latino women outside. At the moment, I'm going outside. So Deacon Hardy sees that we're just passing each other. Or when Nicole and Bob come, you understand she's just trying to get her car. But as soon as everybody's going, she get right back into that banging bullshit to build a case against me, the women's libs. That's put me in the situation I'm in right now. But, like I tell you, I say when Harry comes, or even when my brother comes, she's washing her car in front of the house when he came out there. You understand it? To build dibs on everybody, saying we the ones that are causing the havoc there in the Elmont. And I'm supposed to die. And everybody who visited me is supposed to be the ones who influenced me to do what I did to that apartment based upon the CIA premise. That the CIA authorized the conditions internally of that apartment. You understand it? As a matter of fact, Paul Green said something to me around that time. I got out of Mercy, who he and Asherin didn't like how Mercy discharged me under them pretenses. And when I had got back on telling him, well, I'm taking Ashley to court, he screamed at me and said, if you don't stop, you're going to hit back. Then he made a reference of about one of your guys, like in the government, something he was trying to say to me during that conversation, that like your guys, like somebody from the CIA, there is no guys. But what I did was I filed a complaint with him with the Nassau County PD, who gave me a police report about being harassed by him, which that paperwork is back at the apartment now, that he's able to go through those papers and destroy them. Because the federal government keeps me unstable in housing. It's how they keep me transferred. I'm like, and that's kidnapping for 5 years. All they do is keep me kidnapped. And I was saying it for all those years in that apartment. I don't belong here. That's a scream. Will somebody please get me out of here? For 5 years. Doesn't make a difference. Then when Nadia moved out, and at one point they took the Jew out of the apartment, I used to stomp my goddamn, like the house was about to collapse. Will somebody please get me out of here? In Elmont. And so now I'm here, and but that's the whole point. I'm trying to say is that Karen herself, she uses her family as a front. That she's this innocent mother who'll take care of a dog, a little puppy dog, and her son, Matthew. Meanwhile, she's up there killing me there. She says at the bottom staircase, you are a faggot, you can't leave here till you're a crackhead. And then as soon as my friends come, she starts doing something as though she's preparing the house, planting flowers. She always does something. As soon as they leave, she come back in and start that bullshit again. Her and the Latino men. Which, to tell you the truth, when Bob and Nicole came, I caught a little break. She wasn't there. And before you know it, she's there. But we didn't even know it until they left Bob and Nicole Williams, who parked in her spot in the driveway, and she blocked them in. When there's plenty of room in front of the house to park, until my guests left, she blocked them in. And then on the way out the door, Nicole Williams noticed how she shot out the house past all of us, right? But making sure that nobody's seen her doing shit. Just to move her car so my guests can get out of there. And that was like she was smothering me like we live in a crack house, teaching me to be a crackhead. And the federal government stood by. As I'm kidnapped, to find somebody to get them off the hook for all that abuse, electrocuting my penis, fucking my eyes up in edema. You understand it? Trying to make it look like I'm a drug addict, or I have a problem, an emotional problem. You understand? Or like, it didn't make a difference. I tried to get lawyers way back then who would say, it's not that serious. Call me the next time you get hurt. So there's 3 different times and the fourth time almost getting raped at Metropolitan Hospital. And it's like the embarrassment, the failure of addressing my legal needs, and they're going to employ the federal government who does not want a race war or some kind of a racial. When people find out how white boys in the federal government stood and also facilitated when I was in Hillside Avenue, having me hook up with gay transsexuals over the internet when I was on the Haldor. That's how they spent their federal finances and resources at one point, trying to figure out when I'm alone how to have me have homosexual encounters.